over the last 2 years, 2018 and 19, I made 7 predictions, 7 based on economics. And out of those 7, I got all 7 correct. And so I wrote a blog about it recently, and I figured, well, I might as well share this on my YouTube channel. So my first prediction was on January 5th of 2018, and it was about Bitcoin. At the time, Bitcoin was at its apex. It had just come off its high somewhere close to 20,000, and it was down to 6,700, so just under $17,000. And it was all over the news, and I said, look, I was recommending Bitcoin 5 years earlier. I wasn't on Facebook when I probably have Facebook posts and stuff like that. I'm not going to try to even find those, but I was talking to people, and they could verify, but you might not know them, and wouldn't matter anyway. Just take my word for it, whatever, or don't. I don't care. But the important thing is I predicted the top. I said I didn't recommend Bitcoin at that time. I had 5 years earlier, which would, depending on when that was, and I don't actually remember, it was definitely during one of the summers when we were preparing for the year. I don't know if it was the summer of 2013 or 14. But I was definitely talking to the principal of the school at Freedom Farm in Michigan and telling him about Bitcoin. It was somewhere between $31 and I think it went up to under 1,000 at the time. So any of those numbers are good. I don't care what it is, but the minimum increase is 20-fold. But the important thing is that I called the top also. I'm not always good at calling the top when it comes to stocks and stuff like that. This is a digital asset and stuff. So I did. And I've got the link in the blog, but I'll also put it in the description below so that if you don't want to go to my blog, you can click on that and watch it if you would like after you watch this video. Okay, the second prediction was across the board raises at Stephens. And I've got the link. I made 3 videos in total. The first one was on Facebook before I was dedicated to YouTube and cluttering up my YouTube with videos. I was testing some stuff out, but this was one of those. But I also did another one, an update on my prediction on the YouTube channel. It was much closer to the date we actually got our raises, but I wasn't sure at the time. You can tell that in the video. But those will be in the link. My third prediction was, and this was from January 15th to June the 11th of 2018. I think that originally I recorded the video the year prior, but I just didn't post it until January 15th or something like that, because in the video I say next year, and I'm not predicting like the next year a whole year ahead of time. I was talking about the current year at that time. So anyway, and then third prediction was the outcome of the trade war. There's a lot of details in there. I think as of right now, we are basically all of them are done. In one of the videos, I predict either she is going to resign or there's going to be a trade deal. So we got phase 1 of the trade deal already now. But you can go in there. There's a whole series that you can see all the details of everything. And call me out if you see something that I was in error about. But all the economic-based predictions were correct as far as I can tell. Number 4, inflation. I thought I was wrong about this, but then I found another video in which I did the prediction was fulfilled, because this past year there was a lot of talk about no inflation, but the year before there was inflation, and I had predicted that at the beginning of 2018. In fact, January 25th. January of 2018, I made a lot of predictions, and all of them came true when it comes to economics. Okay. Number 5 is the 2019 forecast summary. I predicted there would be a great economy, but that if the interest rates, the Fed kept raising interest rates interest rates like they had been, a lot more companies would go out of business. Well, what happened is they reversed course and started cutting rates. So my prediction, which was contingent on raising rates, as I say in the video, was reversed. And so that prediction did come true because the circumstance had changed. Number 6, the big Tesla trade. This is my favorite one. About 10 years ago, once I learned economics, I thought, you know what? It does no good to know economics, first of all, if you can't help predict the future. But second of all, if you don't profit from the future. Like if you're seeing the future and you don't profit from it, that's a special kind of stupid. So, I didn't have a lot of enough money to realize all the predictions I made in my stock investments. Of 16 were correct and 4 were bad trades. And that's all in my stock blogs and stuff like that. Wish I had money back then, but I do now, and that makes it all good. And this was over a 6-month period of time from April to October of 2019. And that is all publicly documented on video. Next prediction, number 7, predicting the end of Stevens tanker. This is something I didn't go public on anywhere other than like the very day the email came out, about 30 minutes before. I was so certain. I posted on Facebook, but it was more encrypted. You could only see it in retrospect. You couldn't, overtly. It wasn't overtly obvious. But I told a bunch of people and Stevens tanker, and you can count this or not, I don't care. But it was based on observation and economics. I guess you could say economics. So I have 2 videos there just kind of describing what happened. And it was a very short thing, but it happened a lot sooner. My prediction was this company is going to be out of business by January. And I was telling everybody that would listen, 3 supervisors can verify what I'm saying, and the credible sources, and a number of other drivers we could track down. But those are the 7, and I'll put the links in the description following the blog. That way you can... the blog is where you can get all the links and take your time after this video and verify whether I was correct on all those predictions. And if you want, go back and look at any other predictions. I looked, and there was one prediction not based on economics, but the midterm. I predicted that the Republicans had really good odds of keeping it because of history. And so... I was wrong about that, but we'll see if I'm wrong about that this next time. If they because they got a great track record since 1992 of holding the House specifically, but that wasn't based on economics, so I'm not counting it. But if you want to add that, that's 7 out of 8 predictions. That's great. So I hope that was entertaining, and go through and watch those. It might be surprisingly shocking to you. All these things that it's just surprising to me, because you don't know when you're making these predictions. You're not 100% sure, but I don't make predictions. I'm like at least 80% sure on something. So anyway, thanks for watching.